on a Sunday fun day. Jesus. That's who that was. Jesus Christo. I am Lilith reincarnated, God's first child. I am your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. Spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, child of God. Again, I am the first child. I am Lilith. You are you, and I am me. And I am going to teach you about everything. Alright. As I take a breath here, I don't go into too deep of explanations because I don't expect you to understand. All of this is giving you understanding. What is that? Anybody in the back? Tree of life, yes? Okay, what are those emblems inside of that thing? Inside of those circles? Those are planets. Those are symbols for planets. Okay? What are the symbols inside of those pathways to each circle? Letters. Which ones? Hebrew. It's the Hebrew alphabet. Those letters are another word we call sigils or runes. We don't call them alphabetical letters. Another word for something like that would be hieroglyphics. Okay? You keeping up so far? Alright. Now, that's all part of the Kabbalah. And that is Jewish mysticism. Okay? Let's keep up with me. Jesus was a Jew. They were very mystical. Jewish people, they had a higher understanding. They were chosen to see things and know things that other people didn't. It wasn't given to all cultures. Right? So the rabbis and the stuff, mysticism, Jewish mysticism, which is the religious teachings of magic, Jesus grew up in. Jesus changed everything. But the teachings behind that go back to, biblical understandings, right? So I'm going to get into the book, The Essential Kabbalah, in just a minute. I shared a bunch of things in my community page, and I'm going to keep those for a while and just keep resharing those for understanding, okay? The Tree of Life is considered an ascension pathway back to God. You're trying to work through the pathways back to God. I've told everyone that how I did this was through my mind and my emotions. I showed a lot of mapping today of how there are literally brain waves. There's locators within your brain that are connected to particular planets. I've shown you how the chakras that run through your body, which is through your spine, your brain fluid runs through your spine. Everything's connected. It all works together. I told you how that connects you to the universe. I told you about the flow of energy. I told you that the reason you're fat and you have bad health is not because of what you're putting in, but what's already in there, which is nothing more than repressed memories and feelings. I teach you that that's how I became all mystical, was I started working through my thoughts and my feelings. When you do that, you access higher levels of conscious thinking. You think differently. In those higher levels of conscious, you start accessing the planets within your brain. Where the fuck is that book? Oh, come on. I thought I grabbed everything. I did. And a Krishna teaching is how you access other planets through your chakra system. Okay? I teach you a lot about astrology. When something goes wrong, I'm looking at the fucking planets. You could say it's my ancient Egyptian ways, but the planets' movement have an enormous effect on us. That goes back to not Western astrology, because our charts are fucked off. I can show that coming up pretty soon. It'll say we're in this, but the real chart says we're in something else. You gotta be careful too with the northern and southern hemispheres. I myself, my personal energy is always, it doesn't matter where my body is, I have to feel the summer solstice. But as you can see that we just had a winter storm, It was my winter solstice. I'm always on Egyptian time. You guys are on what they call devil time. Let's start with the jokes. It's all a joke, right? So anyways, my awakening is me working through my thoughts and my feelings and acting in them. Acting a fucking fool, I assure you. But honoring my feelings. Honoring what was coming out of my heart and what was coming out of my mind. And putting the two together. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of work. And that's mastering the mind, body, and spirit. As I started creating, a clean slate in my mind. And I started to ground my, my feelings. That's the ascension. Right? So it shows it through your brain how you're working through thoughts. The quicker you can analyze a thought and a feeling and reprogram it, let it tell you what it is, and then you tell it what it will be, the quicker you can do that, the faster you're moving through the ascension path. So, there's a lot of this information that I bring that is extremely old information that we just started with. You know what I mean? Like when I first accessed the archangels. As I was going through healing, which the first one is the dark night of the soul, Serial, I started, meeting the spirit guides of both the dark and the light. As soon as I woke up, think about it. As soon as you're birthed, you're in the dark womb. You're in the tummy of the beast. Right? It's an actual rebirth. They want you to visualize it as that. Right? You push through all the darkness. When you push through the darkness, now you're born. You're a reborn spirit into this world. Now your spirit is in, and it's all love and light. No. You're a light being in all kinds of darkness. You're still wearing a dark capsule. The world is still all dark. You're just the light of the world before you took form. You literally remember who you are as a soul, that you're just in this body. Now you're stuck in an older body, and you got to work through its darkness and the darkness of this world, but you know that you're just the light, and you're just here to experience it. That's how that kind of all works. Where does this higher understanding come from? When you start working through your lower feelings, your lower emotions. What that means, let me get my little pointer here, is your lower, and then you start working up. So first I worked in the pits of hell. And that's this whole thing right here is the exact description of Dante's Inferno and Purgatory and all of that. You start here in order to rise. But really it starts in your mind, and you try to ground it. And you're working through all of this, taking all different paths. It's like, no, you were chilling for 5 minutes ago. Yeah, until I had a thought that zoomed me over to this direction. And I took that thought and I went to fucking space with that one. And that's how you alchemize situations and things that you've seen and how you view it real quick like. Some of them you can view through real quickly. You can go from 0 to 100. Once you get the higher perspective, like I do, as a Melchizedek order, once you see God's way, you have to bring it down to earth. And that's what I do down here as the recorder, the messenger, right? I tell you my experiences up to God. God tells me how to deal with them, how to reprogram this shit. And I have to work through my own thoughts of how I think it until I see it His way. And then I got to bring that back down through my body. And this is the body too. So that's where you're reprogramming your body, and you have all those bodily effects, like losing tons of weight and becoming younger and being, more healthy and just more lightly about everything. You're not so heavy. You're not so drained by your experiences. You literally take them off and, live a little bit lighter. But at first, no, it's all darkness. I went into the dark night of the soul, and it just never came out. It was just chaos and fucking fears and tragedy and loss for about 2 years. It was all darkness, but there was light in that darkness, and I started working through the darkness and entering levels of light, where I started to learn about, little things, and that's how each of these light teachings came to be. I have far more light teachings than I do of the dark. And it's because you need the light to guide you through the dark. When I went looking for dark teachings, it's taken me about probably a year now just to put together the 5 or 6 that I have to really show you the experience of going through the dark. You know what I mean? And that's like trying to break out, Jesus Christ, as we're about to read, Carl Jung's studies. It's like people have studied this guy's studies his whole life, and now I'm supposed to break this down to you, along with, you know what I mean, the Bible. I didn't come out here reading the Bible to you. I was in no position to read the Bible to you in the beginning. I could teach you all about the darkness, because I had experienced it, but I wasn't operating in the light. I got baby stepped into the light. Now, today, I'm going to make this all make sense. Today, in my earlier reading, we were doing what I said is a light codes reading. It means this is where I'm getting transmissions from the lights. Not from the dark, but from the light, which are higher conscious beings. All right. What you're looking for is I didn't even bring the guidebook for those. Was my Kabbalah Oracle cards. This is the highest level of tarot I've ever seen. Okay, now in this, it describes them a little bit easier. I guess it's not. But where's my pointer? Alright, so you start right here. Okay, and you move up. So you meet your angels. That'll be your spirit guides out. This week I told you that as soon as you start leaving your thoughts, you're going to meet the spirit realm and what that's going to mean for you, right? After you meet the spirit realm, you're going to meet your archangels. That would be my archangels over there. Over here, oops, sorry. Let me fix this. Over here is your principalities. All right, then your virtues. I'm teaching you about beings, realms, dimensions, but your own virtues lie right there. Your own powers, but the powers that be lie right here. These are the dominions of God, the cherubim, the thrones, Jesus himself, and then the seraphim. Now, if you were to start with just basic archangels, right? Your archangels guide you through this. They're going to guide you all the way through the top, through your chakra system, into the different layers of light. They're going to tell you about, I don't remember how many fucking chapters there are in that one. I think 17. You go through 17 vibrations, right? Now, after I went through those 17 vibrations of light, the next ones I got were the light frequencies. And this is where we're going to jump into this. Alright? Now, after I got these ones, I went to the Lumerians. I realized that I don't have my stones out because I went and did a walk today. That was my guidebook. I always have to do the Lumerians in the light. They are light beings and they send light codes. Right? For what? Shadow work. That's what these are for. To dig deep. I put them each on the moon cycles so that we can access each of the moon cycles. Right? So after that, that's how I went. Okay? What cards do I have that are higher than that? There was no more oracles higher than that. What I had to start accessing outside of that was books. The further we go into the light, the further we go back in time. Okay? Now, we were in the thrones. We got to Melchizedek, which is the full order, and that's Melchizedek up on the left, about the universal logos and shit like that. And then there's Metatron that teaches you the synchronicities and how this energy works and flows together. Web of this energy created. Okay? Now, as I started accessing that, I started accessing again, not just higher dimensions, but a higher level of teachings, which is new ascending masters. Today we did a reading about Serapis Bey. And I said, all right, I'm going to have to find that card because I know this to be an absolute frequency. Now, in the videos I showed you, or in the mapping that I showed you about the mind and everything is a frequency. Okay? I also told a story, I made a video about this, how I went to Five Below. They had this whole, it was an angel number incense pack, 70 incense for $5. And it had all the angel numbers. So I went in and I got it. And I got in my car and I lit angel number 555, which is change. That is the same thing that teaches in my light codes. Now, I also showed you the beginning of the light codes, which was the archangels came later. The beginning was the light worker oracles that I brought out in my earlier video. Right? And in there, it teaches you the frequencies of the numbers. All right, so I lit that. All of a sudden, the weather changed and all kinds of shit done changed. These are about frequencies. So, for example, right now, I would have to say with summer solstice, I would have guessed that we were in the frequency of the sun at a frequency of 417 hertz. I shared the mapping that once you enter this frequency, which they call high vibrational people, you're accessing higher realms of understandings and visions, right? Now, we're not there though. We're not there. The frequency of your heart is 528 hertz. When you're moving through your heart space, you're giving off that frequency. And that's your sonar system. So no shit. I'm gonna kind of be explosive here. I was on the phone with my twin flame, and I heard my ears ring. I was like, oh, they know. It's like, what? I was like, frequencies, bro. I give off a frequency. When we're talking, we give off a frequency, and they hear it, and I can hear it echo back to us. They know. And Russ came out immediately. Then fucking so did Wolfman. And I was like, do you know what that is? I was like, it's a ringing in your ear. Do you ever get that ringing in your ear? Each of them are a frequency of somebody if you really pin it down. Now, what's really interesting is his frequency. I've been in it for a week and I can feel it. It's very calm. It doesn't come through. It's inside. It gets activated inside. It's a very calm frequency that I hear from this twin flame. Not this loud pinging in my fucking ear, this low vibe that comes through my left ear, or this loud pinging in my right ear. Everybody has a tone to them. That's what it is, like tune them up or tone them down. I am a very high frequency. You hear me and see me. I'm bright. I'm loud. My frequency speaks magnitude. When I walk in a room, you feel it. And that's what I've been teaching. I have this energetic field that goes off for at least 3 miles. Now, when I went into that deep dance meditation, this deep trance where I closed my eyes and went totally wild for 15 minutes, not outside of my car, but actually movement, I blew that frequency. I couldn't hold that type of love, energy, and excitement and joy, that I had to burst it out of my body and spread it across the world. I had to literally burst this energy out because I was bursting with it. They're energies. When you're bursting with anger, you're bursting with energy. It's just a low vibrational energy. Right? Okay. So there's all of these. You're welcome to buy these cards, but we're looking for a specific energy that we're in. The owl spirit is the frequency of 852 hertz. Right? And that's your mind, your state of mind, guys. I'm trying to you to understand. It's a state of mind. What am I looking for? Serapis. Bathcool, nope. Archon Bello. The bear frequency, the Shekinah, the Tantra, the crow. This is a frequency that you move through, and that's why it's like I'm unpredictable, and the 333s and shit like that. The Seraphim, the Beta Wolf, the Lion's Gate is coming up next. That's going to be a frequency. Where is it? Fuck. It's in my archangels, I think. Let me try again. It's a frequency. I'm just trying to get you right. And if not, we're going to move right along. It's not there. It's in one of my... I think it is in my archangels. I'll find it right now if that's the case. Because I have the guidebook. But I felt like it was here. Ivory Crow, Tantra, Shekinah, Obadiah. Yeah, isn't that late already?
Yeah,
The Shekinah. I like it. The Yogini. And that's it too. When I hit the frequency of 285. I was in the Yogini, and that's where I started getting transmissions from Buddha. I just want to point out, I put all of this in a post. I always say I'm off of Hampton Avenue. Hampton Avenue is Highway 285, right? The Colorado Buddhist community is off of Hampton and what is that, Girton? I think it is, right? That's where that is. And then Hampton leads straight over to Red Rocks. The little town outside of Red Rocks on the other side of that little mountain, it's called Bear Creek. It's the frequency of the bear. Do you see how this all aligns? Going back to the heart, it was the frequency of 582 hertz. We live in the 5280. I told you, this is an access point to all fucking energies. I just sit here and catch it all and flow through it all. There's all kinds of energetic fields that you can walk through. Be careful, because you'll also walk through a school shooting field. That's not funny. It's our state flower, the columbine. Isn't that fucking disgusting? Our state flower is called the columbine. We're known for the Columbine shooting. Isn't that crazy? Cray. The Red Rocks, Boulder, all of this, the high country, the highest peaks. I tell you what, synchronicities. I didn't find the card I was looking for, so we're just going to move on. I could go digging, and I'm just not going to dig. I'm not going to dig. There's too much going forward to go backwards. Now, as we have entered new state of consciousness, we started learning about, we got deeper into, the Kabbalah. I got a book that taught us more than just the cards I had. I'd already gone through the cards twice. I understood what they meant, but I didn't, whatever. I'm not using them as, a fortune teller. Like, it's not like, I'm never going to be able to read tarot like you guys read tarot. I'm never going to use the Crowley cards or the Crowley fucking, shells like you use. I'm never going to do all that kind of divination. You guys can stare at fucking wax and motherfucking cloud patterns. I see it right in front of my face. But anyways, going back to it. I'm here to help you and your ancestral inner knowing. Because, that's what I sent to Drake. I thought you were a Jew, bro. What do you know about any of this? Do you know God? Which God? Which is your God? And that's where I stand here with Allie. Allie! Which is your God? Which is your God, Allie? Are they both your God? Do you read this book and you're Islamic? You're Israeli. I'm confused, bro. I'm so motherfucking confused about who your God is. But I'm trying to reach you through God. Your God is trying to reach you through me, is what I just heard. I don't know. But we just got into that. And that's it. A higher level of understanding of a new level of God. But in essence, these are so old. These are the oldest levels of teachings that I don't know. What do you mean? They didn't accept Christ. These are people that stayed traditional to their old traditional teachings. This is Old Testament. These are the people that came before Christ, that are still here long after Christ. Do they believe in Christ? I don't think so. I think that's the whole problem. Oh, look, I just turned to a page that said Mary. Messenger's sole duty is to convey the message. Page 89. God knows what you reveal and what you hide. Say, the bad and the good are not alike, even though the abundance of the bad may appear pleasing to you. So fear God, O men of understanding, so that you may prosper. I just turn into these books and God's just be on our ass. Every book you want. That's why people run away from religion, because religion hangs you. Stops you in your tracks. I don't know, I just turned to the Quran. And it's the same shit. Let's see what this guy says about Islamic path of God. What'd you turn to? 61. And it says 6, the divine decree on page 61. Well, here's a decree, and then we'll see what it says. O you human creature, what has made you heedless of your Lord, the most generous, who created you, then fashioned you, then proportioned you? 82, 6, 7. That's it too. Where's your God? You forgot about God? God's plan. God's plan. Did God plan for you to get into a fight with fucking Kendrick Lamar? Uh-huh. What are you planning? But we must accept the fact that God created universe which operates according to the established laws, both physical and spiritual. Laws which take effect regardless of who's involved. Is this what you believe in, Ellie? What do you believe in? Damn it! I really want to know, and I actually just haven't asked him. I'm about to blow up his DMs. If in the... That sounded so wrong. That was a joke. I'm gonna blow up the Israelis' DMs. He's Canadian. Does that make it any better? It just means he likes it. I'm gonna fall out of my chair. Hold on. I need something to drink. I don't know what God you believe in, but I promise he's part of my family. I'm trying to get you to your God, bro, so you could be more godly. Being godless. And stop being so fucking ruling. Jeez. I'm gonna find out your guys' stupid rules and break them. I just want to tell you that. Anyways, going back to this. If in the operation of these laws something happens that hurts one of his servants, it does not negate God's existence, power, or his infinite goodness in the least. We talked about that earlier, how this kid got mauled by a fucking pit bull in the driveway today. What? Go watch my video before I open this, bro. That's old news. We're moving on. You guys want me to stay in some old-ass energy with some old-ass feelings and just sit there on some old-ass thoughts. That shit is old, bro. That's why life is so adventurous, because I move on. I know you wish I would sit there and just, feel sorry for you or me or somebody. No, we have to work through that. I don't sit around and feeling like that. I don't like to feel uncomfortable. Alright, let's see. Okay, here comes your devil, you devil worshippers. As for the existence of evil, it is an integral part of the divine plan. All-wise, all-knowing Lord made Satan as a test for his servants. You believe in this? Can you introduce me to this man? I do have a scary-ass laugh, and that's what's so funny. Bobby said that I was the devil, trying to convince him that the grass is greener in hell. Bro, I'm telling you, you're in hell, and it's on fire, and get the fuck out of hell. Convince you. The serpent's tongue, that's what you call me, and that's what God said. They can't deny the serpent's tongue. I didn't lie to you. I told you the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Anyways, Satan is a test for his servants, permitting him to carry on his mischievous activities without hindrance. I feel like this is punk. I know that voice in your head that's like, do it. I mean, he's not gonna let me get in no fucking trouble, bro. He will not let me drink and drive or do some, go out and sleep with some guy or anything. He's not gonna let me sin upon myself. He's gonna encourage me to act a fool, though. All the time. And then I'd just be sitting there looking foolish with him on the floor, waiting for Kobe to kick my ass. Kobe don't even fuck with you. I'm the one stuck with your bitch ass. Alright, in the essence, it's not like they go to war. It's like I'm the one that has to get the ass into this bullshit while we're fucking around like this. Alright, and while God has promised that Satan will never be given the power over his sincere, obedient servants, verse 38, a great many people, perhaps today more than ever, respond to his call. That's it. You're giving in to your selfish desires. You're giving it. That's what they said. You're in that devil energy. You're giving in to all your temptations. It's Temptation Island, and you guys are just fucking killing them. Using their freedoms of choice, they choose evil, and what's evil? That's what it is. You deem me as evil. I'm not saying you're evil for what you're doing, dude. I'm just saying you ain't never did it better than nobody else. All you're doing is taking, the route to enlightenment, in essence. You fucking around, you're gonna find out. As the all-seeing oracle, am I going to tell you that what's about to happen, or am I going to let this happen so you can learn your lesson? You're not going to learn a lesson from my knowing. You have to fuck around and see how this works out. Then I could, I'll write it out on a piece of paper. Don't open the envelope till the end of this. And that's that Doctor Strange moment. If I tell you, you're going to do everything to avoid learning this lesson. If you come up to me and ask me, hey, what do you think about my boyfriend? Oh, God. You're about to learn a lesson, bitch. Yeah, he looks great. Sexy. He loves me, and oh my god, I can't. Okay, bitch. Okay, do I want to ruin your fucking fairy tale? And that's why God lets me fairy tale like a motherfucker. I saw a fucking Wolfman. I was like, oh my god, are you a lesson or a blessing? I was so excited in this. I was like, yes. You were so tempting. You were tempting to my flesh, and I was like, I knew this was bad, but I was willing to fuck around and find out. The lesson was my blessing. I learned so much about myself, and I didn't fucking fuck with you at all. And what did we learn about you? You're nothing but a sex toy. But what did I learn about myself? I was nothing but a sex toy. Well, that is something that I didn't see coming when I looked at you, but I felt very sexy and wanted to play with you, so I guess that I should have seen that coming. And that's just it. Ooh, we're going to learn some lessons. In the essence, you didn't learn the lesson from your last one, so you're going to date another loser to learn another lesson. All my guys teach me some really fucked up lessons about myself. Thank you for the twin flames. None of them are giving me dick. Well, I got a picture that I can't get out of my mind. Somebody was going to give me some dick. One of them was going to give me some dick eventually, right? Oh, God. I'm hilarious. Keep up with me. You and your sinful life. Your evil ways. The devil card. This isn't them obsessed. This is you. Why don't you guys ever say that that's you? Why is it always somebody else is in this energy? Dude, when he said I was the devil, I said that's what they've always called me. Because I am whatever they said I was. In the essence, it's like, why'd you call me a devil? Because I wasn't, you know what I mean? Jesus didn't even exist back then. I didn't have rules. God didn't even give us that rule till I fled the garden. He's like, wait. Let's put some rules down. He didn't tell me not to eat from the apple, and I never did. I didn't break no fucking rule. I just said no. It's not a sin to say no. It's very empowering. It sets you free. No, Adam, I'm not going to sleep with you. What happened? Was I persecuted? No. It took God a long time to figure out what to do with me, and I went and did whatever I wanted to do with myself. No, I don't want your dick. I mean, am I going to be persecuted for blowing up another twin flame? No, it's going to take God a while to figure out what to do with it. I'm his most challenging child. You guys said I was the devil. I'm just the goddess of hell. That doesn't make me a devil. And I'm hilarious. Alright, let's keep going on with your sin-committing ways. Something about something. Using their freedom of choice, they choose evil and thereby become workers for Satan's cause. In contrast to firm, committed workers of God, who steadfast refuse to cooperate with and become part of evil in any form. Yeah, you guys be on the fucking on the hate campaign, bro. You guys be on the fucking campaigns of fucking darkness, bro. You're like, yes, I'm going to go to that concert as absolutely naked as I can, and I'm going to make them want my body. I know you want it. And then somebody rapes you, and you're like, I don't know why this is happening to me. You put yourself out there, dude. You just got more than you were asking for, but you were asking for it. You took it too far. You wanted to be liked, loved, and lusted. You were too prideful about your skin, and you wanted to force your fucking vagina on somebody. You were too open, and you didn't have boundaries. You didn't listen to the voice that told you not to trust that person. You took an advantage of somebody that you gave control to. You took the drink. You went with the person. You chose that outfit. You fucked around and found out. You may have had a traumatizing experience, but what did you learn from it? Because everybody has experienced these types of traumas. Save the trauma for your mama. Just kidding. In the essence, yeah, dude, these festivals, bro, these concerts, it's hot as fuck. And especially, we're about to go to the Pride Festival at the end of the month. I'm working on some magic on that, dude. I'd rather have a bunch of wet bodies. Oh, that sounds sexy, right? Put some rain on that shit. I mean, I'd rather have some wet bodies than sweaty bodies. At least they're washing off, you know, being washed of their sin. They're very nude. And that's because they want to be proud, but you're a little over proud. Take it easy, fucking Lizzo. Put the butt cheeks away, bro. Put all that away. I know you're proud of it and you want to share it with the world, but that shit you need to share with your husband and or wife or partner or whatever you do. Do you, boo-boo, but don't boo-boo all over us. Just kidding. That's why we give them a day in the rain to play. They can do whatever they want, and they can wave their flags, and they can go full freak mode, and we can allow them to be freaks. Otherwise, they're going to do freaky shit at night, and I be at night, and I don't want to see that shit at night. Let them just do it in the day. Give them a day. I love my teachings. I love me. Do you love me? Freaking love me. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. Alright. I'm not going nowhere. I'm here for like 55 more years. But you're going to miss me when I'm gone. Alright. Anyways, let's go on to your evil ways and your evil deeds. But even though God may permit those who choose evil to flourish for a while, the divine judgment and punishment must fall upon them as a result, either in this life or in the hereafter, or both. Judgment. It's a judgment call. And that goes back to Russ. I was like, come on, Russ, did you think the Pacers were going to win? You didn't think we were toying with you? It wasn't even about me and you, but it always is. But in the sense of, if we just talked about it, is Indiana going to beat Oklahoma? No. What does Indiana stand for? What does Oklahoma stand for? Not to mention, I bless that damn land. Did I go to Indiana? I mean, a few times. But because you're a supporter of it, I'm against you in all ways. So you are never going to win that. And going forward, I had made that post. I was like, Big Sean is about to get fucked going on this tour with you. And I'd be looking at people that come around you, and I'm so surprised, but I learned that with Nicki Minaj. And as Will Smith comes, you know what I mean, rolling his bitch ass back in, at least he rolls in. That's the first time I've ever seen someone roll back in. And I was confused because Pac was on his side in the beginning, but then kicked his ass out. And I knew it all had to do with him fucking with your energy. So Big Sean's about to be seriously kicked out of the gates of heaven to learn some really fucked up lessons. I want to pin it on you, but these are lessons he had to learn because he didn't listen to his inner guidance that told him not to fuck around. Meaning he's about to learn your hard lessons, which in essence are his hard lessons for a cost. He's about to learn some really hard lessons being in your energy. And that's what it means to be guilty by association, bro. You're going down with the crowd, bro. You're going down with the sickness. No, it wasn't me. You signed up for this bullshit, bro. As karma hits him, it hits everybody around him. Anybody that vibrates on his frequency and, you know what I mean, can have that kind of mentality to get along with this guy, then you're asking for trouble because this is a low vibrational mentality. This is a devil mentality that God's trying to teach a lesson to, and anybody that comes around him is about to learn a harsh lesson. How's Nicki Minaj doing ever since his crossing with her? What happened to Kanye after he showed up in Paris? What happened to Will Smith after they did a song together? What happens to anybody that comes in contact with this douchebag? Ali, how'd it work being his fan? You're going to learn hard lessons hanging out with the wrong peoples, bro. And in essence, it's not them. It's a lesson you need to learn too. And that's where you stop vibrating with the same kind of folk. It's like, oh, you think you're better than us. Actually, I'm thinking differently, so yeah. I see things differently than you do. I don't think that way. I don't view shit that way. I don't move that way anymore. I don't have those same hard feelings. I don't live in that same reality anymore. Most of you, and that's your A1s to day ones, Marshall Mathers and his fucking bunk ass, fucking rolled up ass, fucking shriveled up ass friendships. These friendships were never serving you to begin with. They were a crutch to get you through your career. You found people that were like you, and you made them all like you. They were never on your fucking wavelength, bro. And they even say it in every fucking video. That you're supernatural. You're never, your mindset, the way you think, the way you put together words, the way you move. They just wanted to be part of your movement. And it felt good because you had no one to keep someone. Take it easy, Russ. Dr. Dre didn't make you. You made Dr. Dre. You made fucking 50 Cent. You made Detroit. And they can't be anything without you. Down to, Big Sean wouldn't exist if you didn't put a rap station, a whole frequency of vibration out of Detroit. Pay homage, right? But in the essence, that it doesn't mean that anybody from Detroit, nor California, nor New York, nor nobody is like you. They all want to be like you, and being around you makes them think they're like you. But they're not like you. You're just keeping people around you that don't even get you, that just want to be around you. How many of you can say the same thing about the low vibrational people that have no good conversations, that, they're fucking snail thoughts. What did he say? A snail trail. They leave a snail trail as they go. It's like, oh, you left a bad taste in my mouth. You left bad feelings, bad thoughts. Why'd you just dump me with all that low shit? Tell me everybody's business, all this ghetto-ass shit. Fill me with all this darkness and shit. And that's going back to your bunk-ass girlfriends when you come home from work and they want to tell you all kinds of low vibrational bullshit. They want to dump some shit on you. You're supposed to bring your vibe up, not bring it down. Anyways, going back to it. Your karma. He has to set everything right, bro. And in essence, you wasn't right, and he's trying to get you right, and it's going to feel all wrong. But it's all right. And that's just it. Say, it's all right. And that's where I said earlier, I was like, I'm that stupid person that's in the car and this motherfucker's on fire, and I'm like, it's all good, just hold on, bro, we're going home, we're fine, God's got us, he's gonna blow this shit out, we're not gonna smell the smoke, don't worry about what it looks like outside, how you feeling inside, bro, don't worry about the outside. You're freaking out about the outside because you're not feeling so good inside, which is right there, your fucking solar plexus, your God complex, your virtues. Where's your virtuous spirit? I don't know, because you're way down here with all your fears. Work through that shit. And that's what it is, a thought, guys. I don't know, give a fuck what it is. I don't have thoughts. When they come through, we get them out. Why? Because I can't see if I'm thinking. Give me a thought. I don't have one. I need to save my life. Hey, Amelia! What you think about? Everybody's thinking. I just don't think. Hey, tell me a thought that you're thinking about right now. That you're working through with your friends. What are you thinking about right now?
How to build trees in Minecraft.
Okay, cool. That's good enough. You could go over there. So she's working collectively in her mind. She's doing something, obviously. She's in Minecraft, and she's like, how do I do this?
They're building separate.
Right? So she's working through the mechanics of it through her mind. A lot of the shit you get, it's all a thought in your mind, and you're just trying to work through the mechanics, as I said, the variables, and put everything together to build this thing. Your mind doesn't have all the fucking pieces. It's a bunch of shit. Yeah, you never took her. You said you were going to take her, and you never did.
My phone was about to die. That's all.
Okay, well, cool. Don't be too late. It's past your curfew. You fucking with bitches. Anyways, going back to it, it's like, you have to work through your thoughts and work through your feelings. You're sitting there, and all of a sudden, you don't feel so good. You start to feel depressed. You don't know where it came from. Sit with it until you find the thought that's attached to it. Now you know why you're depressed. Now you sit in that thought, and you analyze that thought. You analyze that feeling. You analyze that experience. You analyze that memory. You break it down and break it down and break it down. While you're breaking it, it's breaking you. Inevitably, it is breaking you. Your thoughts and your feelings break you. But it's like, it's a war, and that's what I said. It's the war between your heart and your mind. Your mind, body, and spirit, really. And that's where it is the conversion of you're trying to work your thoughts and your feelings into this new understanding, which is your spirit's higher knowing. And that's that my mind's telling me no. My mind says this isn't going to work. I've tried to work this through my head a million fucking ways. I can't see how this is going to work. But my heart says this can work. I've tried to work this through my mind. I have to let this go. And that's where the peace comes and says, all right, I don't know. But I do know because I can feel it in my heart. It's when you stop trying to figure it out and you just know, and you walk in that knowing. Right? And there's another thing, right? My mind says I'm supposed to go to the store, but my heart doesn't feel right, bro. Something don't feel right. My mind says everything's okay, but my body is disagreeing with this. I'm going to go with my heart on this one. You got to go with your heart, always. And that's how you access these higher states of understanding, because you're working past your mind. You're blowing past the main programming. You're listening to it, but you're not being controlled by it. And you're accessing higher dimensions through your heart. If you notice, all of these pathways lead through this one. The heart's right here. It's all flowing right there. That's your superpower. Creating your reality that comes through your throat and all this. But as we start working through, higher levels of thinking, higher, they say new levels, new devils, you're blowing through higher levels of fear and pain and suffering and temptations. You're learning harder levels of karmic lessons, right? You're fucking around and you're finding out shit much faster than normal. As you enter those higher levels, you're meeting higher spirit guides. And that's how I got myself into Islamic beliefs. You know what I mean? I got this book here, Psychic Development for the Beginners, the Krishna teachings. These are all higher conscious teachings outside of the biblical understandings. But even people that read the Bible can't understand it. You know what I mean? Going back to, they study the ancient ways. They study Greek mythology. They study Egyptians. They study the Mayans. They study all of this stuff for a better understanding of what they deem as a higher understanding. The shit that we knew, as ISIS and stuff, as Egyptians, they say it's impossible for us to know because we were so primitive. But we didn't look to technology. We based it off of the actual elements given to us. And that was infinite, or not infinite, finite. Same as the, you know what I mean? Going back to it is like everything's changing but the elements. Everything on this planet's changing, but the planets don't change. The stars don't change. The days don't change. We go through. This is the same exact day as it was every fucking June 22nd. It's the same as every June 22nd until we start changing the energy of June 22nd. Can we change it? No, it'll always be the same energy. But we can write it different. Otherwise, it'll be the same June 22nd every year. How do you prove it? Start paying attention. I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm seeing the patterns. And you can use your memories on Facebook and shit where I catch this shit. Or you literally can just take a diary. Make a whole year of a diary and watch how you end up in the same fucking thought pattern and the same fucking problems, dealing with the same fucking people at the same fucking time every fucking year. Is it you? Or are you just part of an energetic loop? How do you break out of it? You learn the fucking lesson. New levels, new devils. In essence, you'll just be dealing every June 22nd. You'll be dealing with a different, the same shit, just a different way. A higher, a higher level. On this day, we enter this gate. That's it. And that goes back to your birthday. Every birthday is the same birthday. You might celebrate them just a little bit different. It's the same old shit. Have you really changed? Or is it the same people, same food, same cake, same experience, same. And that's it. Russ has never grown out of his childhood, bro. You can see it on top of him. None of them ever outgrew their experiences that stunt them in their growth. You could see which experiences stunted them because they're still carrying the people, places, and things attached to it. Russ never got any friends outside of his family. You can see that because he never brings any friends outside of his family. Russ was only seen with one girlfriend in history. You can see he's still with that punk-ass girlfriend. Marshall only had one wife, who we know was a traumatizing experience. You got stunted in your growth and your experiences. You have to go back to that experience, reprogram yourself, you know what I mean? Regrow yourself as a seed and move on to have other experiences. But you can't go forward in life because you're so afraid of the experiences you've already had. You're stunted. You're stunted in the past. Stunting like your daddy is what I heard. Why you can't go forward. Alright, so I brought out all this stuff. I'm not going to read this card. What is it? The Man of Blood. Man of Blood. The blood of Christ, the blood of the ancestors, all of the blood that runs through us. It's passed on. Yeah, my blood is made up of my mother and my father. That's made up of 4 people. They're made up of 4 times 4 times 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, all the way to the beginning of people. Even though I wasn't Adam or Eve, I still wear their blood. You know why you're not, even though you weren't a child of Lilith, you still have Lilith? Because Lilith was made of the dust, of the dirt. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. As long as you have blood running through your body, you have the blood of the ancestors. As long as your body has the bones that are created in all the organs, and even if you get some that are, off the black market, they're made of the dust of this universe that I'm made of. We are all, created in God's image. Confirmation. I feel like somebody's using my credit card or something. CJ, are you using my credit card? Nope. She said I want to sit outside because it's cool. It's so beautiful outside. The weather has dropped. The air that's pushing is so fresh. And our air conditioning isn't working. So naturally, she'd rather be outside, and I don't blame her. It's another beautiful thing about living in Colorado. She's catching the new energy. And it's flowing from where? What I tell you, as soon as we start to get towards the fucking 4th of July, it changes from the east to the west. And that's where we catch this new thing, and we're catching, so I don't know shit about shit out there, but we're in their energy. It's being brought to us by the winds. And accessing the planets and all of this, have we read this? I mean, no, it was beyond your understanding, but I can try to again. I can try to teach you Krishna's understanding of how this works. But it's not advancements of knowledge to go back to the moon after 10 years of effort and take a rock and come back. The space travelers are very proud. Oh, I have touched it. But what have they gained? Even if they were able to live there, it would not be for long. It would all be destroyed in the end. I'm seeing your diamond ring. As soon as they said that, going to get a moon rock, and I told you the power of all the crystals that we use, and the crystals are accessing energies, minerals, substances outside of our planet, which gives us the ability to access the planets or the beings that lie behind these substances, right? God created the universe. He put it all into the dirt, which are the rocks, the water, the trees, everything. That garden was made of the universe. You were made of the dirt. Your ancestors were made of the dirt of that universe. Like me. So anyways, going back to it is you can get a rock, you can get a diamond, you can get platinum, you can get gold, you can get uranium, you can get all of this. But it doesn't mean you haven't, the power behind it. It doesn't make you powerful. You own a sliver of what they deem as power, but you still don't even know how to access it. Your husband bought you a big-ass diamond ring, but there's no loyalty or love behind it. It's all pride and ego. It's all showing off his trophy. He's still in the DMs. It goes down. He's still following hella girls and, playing all kinds of games behind you. That ring just means he owns you, and he can do as he please now. It means no power. That wedding ring isn't going to stop me from getting your man. But yet, that's what you're searching for, women, is you can't wait till he puts a ring on it, and that means he's yours. That's not how it works. He puts that ring on it, you're his. He owns you at the price of a diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've always said that they will not put a ring on me. They can buy me a necklace and then it can be seen by everyone, but I channel all my magic through my fingers. You're not gonna lock down my fucking magic or my fingers. Truthfully. And, with that, it's like, what mineral would you? Probably obsidian, because that's what I'm made of. Black tourmaline, smoky quartz. Those are my energy. I'm not a diamond girl. Diamond girl. That's a fucking funny song. Alright, come on. Anyways, yeah, you can go to the fucking moon, but that doesn't mean you're a goddess of the moon, is what I heard about this. This is the meaning of Krishna conscious. Takes this movement serious. For Krishna conscious gives... Let me show you Krishna. Where you at, Krishna? Krishna. He loves his cows. Right? Yes. Anyways, this is the meaning of the Krishna conscious. Take this movement serious. For Krishna conscious gives one in a chance to reach Krishna and dance with him eternally. I mean, we were dancing. We were in a total dance trance. Dude, it's just like fucking Pac said. I could see it in my mind's eye. A place where everyone goes to lay their mind at rest. And it is. Everybody's sitting there kicking it. Listening to all that music. Where do you think all that fucking music comes from? They're jamming, bro. They're the ones that wrote the tunes. They're the ones that are trying to write the music for the future. For Vedic literature, we understand that the material world is a manifestation only of 1/4 of the complete creation of God. The 3/4 portion of God's creation is the spiritual world that we find in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. I have that too. I didn't pull that bitch out. This material world is but a fraction part of a whole, if combined within only one universe, and there are unlimited universes clustered together within what we call the material world. I'm going to stop on that note. I told you. I access the multiverse through this material world, which is only under higher states of consciousness. Literally sitting in that kind of pose. I really do. My hands, I don't know what they're doing all the time. Most of the time, they're in mantras. I do mantras. A bunch of these fucking mantras, dude. So I'm aligning my whole body as an actual antenna to receiving information from these higher dimensions of reality that are still accessible here. You can travel the universe through your mind when you get past your thoughts. Stop questioning what you're seeing and trying to understand it, and just believe in your understanding. The worst case scenario of this is always Kanye West. He got an awakening. He started traveling the multiverses. I don't know how he did it. If he just woke up after a crisis, because that's what happens. It always starts with a midlife crisis. A tower starts your higher perception. Once the third eye opens, there's feeding you information of, you're just sitting there like a pothead staring into space, and you're seeing things totally different. Like I told you to think about, Noah. And this is, again, we've been talking about all the prophets of the Old Testament, because that's where we are. We're going further and further back to the beginning of time, to where we were first born, so we can be reborn in time. We're cleaning up the timelines. But, talking about Noah, I'm trying to tell you, put yourself in Noah's shoes. And then you could. How do you invocate a spirit? Put yourself in the spirit. When you want to, when you want to be around Christ, you're told that the Spirit of Christ lays within the church. So you go to the church to fill yourself up with Christ. You're told that that's the water spout, and that's where you get washed out. And that's where you can feel good. If you turn on this music and you turn on this channel and you go to this place, this is how you get Christ. So a lot of people are addicted to the Christ places. The Christness, right? There's other ways to get it. But in the essence, it's like you want to meet with Pac, you want to meet with the Spirit, and that's it. I really miss my grandma. Then put her picture up. Cook her favorite food. Turn on music. Do things that you and your grandma used to do. Bring her spirit to life and feel what it feels like to be with your grandma again. Create a space for you and your grandma. And that's it. Jesus said that, that sacred space was inside. You didn't need to go somewhere to find that space. As I teach you through necromancy and the spirits, they're there for you. Put yourself in the spirit. And that's where it is. I'd be listening to music and here they come. And that's vibrations. As the melodies change, as my playlist changes, as YouTube curates another fucking song to pop in, I was in this vibe. But now I'm in a whole different vibe, and I'm seeing things different, and I'm getting different transmissions, and I'm thinking differently. But now the song has changed, and now I'm thinking about all kinds of other things. It's called music activation for me, and I teach you that all the time. How no matter where you are, you put this song on, it's going to fuck with you. It's going to take you on a journey. Try this song. See where it takes you. I journey through the vibrations of music, but in reality too, because I can feel the vibrations. They're realities, they're frequencies, sonars, magnets, electricity, connections, energy exchange. There's all this goofy ass language for it, bro. It's just being one with the spirit of yourself and everything else, and going with the spirit through time and space where it doesn't exist, accessing all points of reality beyond our reality, everything that was and will be. You access the future all the fucking time. You just don't know it's the future. And most of the future you see is literally the past. You think it's your future. You're projecting your past into your future. Guilty, guilty, guilty. My twin flames, I saw them as my future. That's what I said to this guy. I said, you're not my future, you're my past. Unless you're gonna get on a future timeline with me. You see the future the way I see it? Okay, you could never see it that way. Oh, then I'll see you later. Did you get all that? Okay. I'm going to end on that note. Tomorrow's Monday. You'll be in your mind and your emotions. Work through them. That's all you're supposed to do on a Monday. You're in your moon energy, your mind and your emotions. Right? So, going back to the tree of life. Where are you? Right there with your angels. Get out of your mind. This is your mind and your emotions. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. Your mind and your emotions. You're going to go straight up here to your angels and work with it. Who's going to be there? Kobe, Hawk. They're always there on a Monday in my face about the shit I did last week. They're like right there. Not making me feel so virtuous. Just kidding. Having dominion over me. Fucking powers that be and shit. Just kidding. And that's it. And then we go through what? The different, and we're trying to get here. This is my favorite day of the week, Jupiter. Some Mars shit, and this shit, some that shit, and that's Vedic astrology shit. Astrology, right? What's your natal chart? It's what you're made of. How much, you want to be a full cup, you want to be a full universe, right? So you take this natal chart. What's a natal chart? You go, be careful where you put this information, but you put in your exact location that you were born and time, right? You need to know exactly where you were, longitude, not longitude and latitude, but the location. They need your Earth star chakra point. And then the time you were born. Based on that, they can see what planets were in the sky when you were born, just like Jesus. They followed the star. They can see how much of each planet is in your chart. Based on that chart, you know what you need to work on to be a full planet. You know what I mean? And that's your 12 houses. So you go through your 12 houses, which are your 12 zodiac signs. Whatever's in your 12th house, that's what you need to work on every time that sign comes around. Or that fucking planet. What you don't know is these signs are attached to planets. So even though you're only supposed to deal with this type of shit, you're only supposed to deal with your, your Virgo shit when you're in Aquarius season. Well, fucking Aquarius is connected to fucking this planet, and it's moving around, and it's now in alignment with Virgo, and now all of a sudden you're in the fucking, you're in game mode. And that's how it is. It's like right now with the alignment, I had to face my Scorpio, which is sexual alchemy. But I also know if I face Scorpio, then what comes after the Scorpio in the chart? Sagittarius. So it'll be adventurous again. And that's it, is you know the charts, you know the wheels, you know how this flows. I'm just catching on to it all, to be honest. The wheel of life and shit. We didn't have all the information, and that's where we go deeper and deeper in time to put this whole book of life together. All the pages were spread out through time and through cultures. We have to go back through time and through cultures and put it all together to know, to bring it back to God and the fucking Garden of Eden. We're going back with everything. We took all this knowledge and wisdom, right? We took the tree, Now we're going to go back through the tree and bring it back. Think about it. What's paper made of? Trees. What's written on the paper? All of our experiences. We're going to take it all back to God. That's what we're doing. We're going back to the beginning of time when we were, before we became God. We take back all the stuff that He told us, and all the lessons we learned from all the things He told us throughout time, and we bring it back, and He's very pleased. We bring back all that knowing that was spread throughout time. All that knowledge and wisdom that got us kicked out of time, we bring it back to Him at the end of time so we can go back into heaven. It's kind of what it looks like. That's what He said was it. It was that knowledge and wisdom that kept you locked out. You didn't really know it all. You thought you knew it all, but you didn't. So now we take all this knowing back to Him. Say, here, thank you. We don't need to know anymore. And that's where you get to like me. I don't want to know. You know, I don't care. Just show me, God. That's what He wanted us to be. His children in the garden, being guided by Him, provided by Him, protected by Him, with a purpose for Him. Instead, we got in the world with our little bit of knowing, and we tried to play God and tried to, protect ourselves, provide for ourselves. You know what I mean? Give ourselves a purpose. How'd that work out for us, guys? You ready to go back home? Well, you got to take all that off now. All that knowing and experience, you got to go back over. You got to take it all off if you want to, restore your birthrights and be a child of God again. Don't be such a fucking know-it-all. Hey, I love you. Later. Bye.